Just weeks ago, Elon Musk and Donald Trump seemed like unlikely partners. Musk had been one of Trump's biggest supporters. He poured about $300 million into Trump's 2024 campaign and even ran a White House task force to slash spending. In late May 2025, Trump even featured Musk at the White House as Musk wrapped up his role heading the new Department of Government Efficiency. But today their relationship is completely strained. Musk flew to Washington to meet Trump, and the two publicly appeared united. For example, a Reuters photo shows Trump and Musk side by side at a Rose Garden press conference in May 2025. Musk had been invited into the inner circle of the administration. Trump credited Musk's business skills and even gave him a special advisory title. In an earlier era, Musk famously sat on Trump's manufacturing council and gave him Tesla tours, though he resigned from Trump's economic councils back in 2017 over climate policy. That history aside, they were on good terms as of spring 2025. But cracks appeared almost immediately. The trigger was Trump's signature spending and tax plan known as the One Big Beautiful Bill. Musk took to social media to blister the plan as it worked its way through Congress. On Twitter X, Musk wrote, "I just can't stand it anymore. This massive, outrageous, pork-filled congressional spending bill is a disgusting abomination." These are his words, posted publicly. That attack hit a nerve. Suddenly Trump was hearing criticism from a man he had called a friend. The former president exploded back, publicly tweeting that Musk was the man who has lost his mind, and vowing to cancel any government deals that benefit Musk. In short order, the two went from a public bromance to trading jabs. Trump said he was very disappointed in Musk for attacking the bill, and Musk responded by suggesting Trump wouldn't have won re-election without his support, even hinting that Trump should face impeachment for breaking his promises. All of this blew up the once friendly relationship. Congressman Brendan Boyle, DPA, even quoted Musk's language on the House floor. In the words of Elon Musk, "This bill is a disgusting abomination," illustrating how far the public rhetoric had come. In sum, a few months ago these men appeared as allies, but today they have become fierce adversaries over policy. The One Big Beautiful Bill battle. At the center of this feud is Trump's proposed legislation, officially titled the One Big Beautiful Bill Act, a huge tax cut and spending package Republicans are pushing. The plan would extend the 2017 tax cuts, Trump's biggest past achievement, while adding trillions in new spending on the military, border security, and fossil fuels. In March, Trump's allies passed the measure in the House by a single vote. Now it's in the Senate, and lawmakers are scrambling over its contents. Experts warn this bill is very expensive. The nonpartisan Congressional Budget Office estimates it would add about $2.4 trillion to the budget deficit over the next 10 years. Another analysis cited by local reporters puts it at roughly $2.8 to $3.8 trillion in deficits. The CBO also projects roughly 10.9 million more Americans would lose health insurance under the bill. In short, this is not a small fix. It's a massive rewrite of federal tax and spending rules. Musk has made the budget math a centerpiece of his criticism. He's pointed out that this bill would blow a $1 trillion hole in the deficit and cut vital programs, repeating themes of Republican deficit hawks. For example, Utah Senator Mike Lee, says GOP voters expect deep cuts to deficit, and Louisiana's Jerry Moran, has warned about slashing Medicaid reimbursements for hospitals. Democrats are united against it. Senator Chris Van Hollen, DMD, calls the bill a great betrayal that will cut programs like Medicaid for ordinary people. The controversy goes beyond the numbers. The White House remains fully behind Trump's plan. Karoline Leavitt, the White House press secretary, dismisses the criticism and doubles down on the name. "This is one big beautiful bill, and he's sticking to it," she told reporters. Senate leaders say they intend to pass the bill by July 4, arguing it fulfills campaign promises. But the margin is razor thin. Republicans hold a 53 to 47 Senate majority, meaning they can lose no more than 3 votes if Vice President Vance must break ties. Already, House Speaker Mike Johnson, who helped write the bill, admits he's been texting with Musk and hoping to resolve the dispute quickly. In June 2025, as this fight unfolded, Traditional allies on Capitol Hill urged calm. Senator Ted Cruz, RTX, told Fox News he hoped Musk and Trump would come back together, noting that when they work in sync, we'll get a lot more done than at odds. Fox host Sean Hannity analogized to sports. Even if two teammates fight, they usually patch things up on the bench. But other leaders gave Musk a warning. Speaker Johnson said, "Do not doubt or ever challenge the President of the United States," essentially telling Musk not to cross Trump on party business. This one big beautiful bill is a full-blown political battle. It's the very heart of the Trump agenda right now, and Musk's very public opposition has turned it into a national spectacle. Support for the bill among Republicans has actually wavered. A WPBF news analysis on June 6 reported that Senate allies are losing confidence in the plan after Musk's posts and a new CBO report. Democrats smelled blood and even invoked Musk's words on the House floor. The partisan stakes are high. Republicans fear losing their own votes and giving Democrats an easy attack line, while Democrats hope the rift will sink the bill. Money talks. This feud isn't just about words. Real dollars are involved. Tesla, Musk's electric car company, saw an immediate hit. When news of the public row broke on June 5, Tesla stock crashed 14% in a single day, wiping out roughly $150 billion in market value. It was the largest one-day dollar drop in Tesla's history. By June 6, the shares had recovered some ground, but the fear was clear. Meanwhile, Musk's sprawling business interests were suddenly in Trump's crosshairs. Trump publicly suggested canceling every government contract and subsidy that benefits Musk. He specifically targeted SpaceX and Starlink, citing that Starlink provides internet in natural disasters and war zones, and that Tesla currently enjoys a $7,500 federal tax credit for each electric car. In short, saving taxpayer dollars, Trump said, means killing the Starlink contracts and scrapping Tesla's EV tax breaks. That stung Musk's pocketbook, since a large share of Tesla's profit depended on that credit, and SpaceX relies on federal launch contracts and NASA deals. Musk struck back with threats of his own. He warned he might decommission SpaceX's Dragon spacecraft, the capsule that ferries astronauts to the International Space Station, if pressured. He noted that cutting off Dragon flights would cut off the main American route to the ISS. In essence, he said, if the government rolls back support for my business, we'll remove our infrastructure from your projects. He later retreated from the boldest threats, but the message was clear. Other U.S. space contracts are now at risk too. For example, Trump revoked his nomination of Jared Isaacman, a Musk ally, to head NASA over the weekend, a move insiders say further angered Musk. In the defense realm, SpaceX already holds huge military contracts. Even a Reuters report in Feb 2025 noted SpaceX had about $22 billion in total government contracts, mostly NASA launches. Canceling or delaying these deals could cost tens of billions. At the same time, parts of the government are moving to lock in Starlink's future, which shows its own political weight. The FBI and DEA both issued requests in March 2025 for Starlink terminals to use in remote or field operations, evidence that federal agencies increasingly depend on Musk's satellite internet. But installing Starlink terminals in sensitive sites has raised national security alarms. The House Oversight Committee recently demanded answers when they learned Starlink was set up at the White House and other federal buildings. As one letter put it, even unclassified information shared over White House Wi-Fi is extremely important to national security, and any lax controls on the new Starlink system could introduce security exposures. In other words, lawmakers worry Starlink could become a vulnerability if not tightly controlled. All of this underscores how much is at stake. Tesla's valuation, SpaceX/Starlink's contracts, NASA, and ISS access. These are concrete financial pieces in play. The WPBF story on June 6 noted that Musk's own criticisms and Trump's retaliation are raising doubts about the bill because lawmakers know it would hurt Musk's business. And Axios noted the richest man's clout is on the line. After spending $300 million to back Trump, Musk is now testing how much influence he really has. Every time Musk tweets, markets blink. Every time Trump claps back, CEOs worry. In sum, The Trump-Musk fight is causing real economic reverberations. Escalation. With the stakes high, tensions have kept rising. The personal insults are now front-page news. Trump and Musk have traded sharp barbs in interviews and on social media. In TV interviews, Trump openly dismissed Musk, asking reporters, "You mean the man who has lost his mind?" and saying he wasn't particularly interested in talking to him. Musk has publicly challenged Trump to a call. Trump declined, and even suggested impeachment for breaking promises. Conservative media figures have weighed in. Fox News host Sean Hannity had to remind viewers that in sports teams players fight on the ice but reconcile after, downplaying it as just a policy difference. Lawmakers are scrambling to contain the fallout. Republican leaders fear the feud could derail their agenda. House Speaker Johnson insists lawmakers are not shaken at all by the dispute and that the tax and border bill will pass. He even tried a bit of damage control by telling reporters he called Musk to smooth things over. Musk didn't respond. Some GOP senators like Ron Johnson, RDLI, and Mike Lee, RUT, see Musk's criticism as a call to find more spending cuts, while others worry it hurts their messaging. On June 6, AP News reported that Speaker Mike Johnson said he called Musk to discuss the criticism, and Musk has threatened to use his political apparatus to go after Republicans in the midterm elections. In other words, Musk, a former Trump ally, may soon spend political capital against the GOP he once helped. Meanwhile, the feud has attracted scrutiny from outside Congress. National security experts are carefully watching. Musk's companies, SpaceX, Starlink, are tightly woven into U.S. defense. The Washington Post recently noted that SpaceX and Starlink do key functions for the Department of Defense, meaning Musk's influence could extend to a potential future conflict, especially given tensions with China. Yet Musk also has deep ties to China. For example, Tesla's largest factory is in Shanghai, and he has publicly praised Chinese authorities. This dual role has drawn concern from analysts. One think tank expert observed that Musk is already cleared into several sensitive U.S. programs, but also has significant business interests in China and has echoed Beijing talking points on Taiwan. In short, critics wonder if Musk's China engagement creates a vulnerability for U.S. security. The space agenda is likewise on edge. If Musk were to actually withdraw support, say by decommissioning Dragon or limiting Starlink data, it could be disruptive. For example, SpaceX is currently the only company transporting astronauts to the International Space Station. Musk himself warned that ending that NASA partnership would cut off the main American route to the ISS. Such moves would instantly put Congress and the White House in a bind, given how important ISS access is for scientific and military research. The political playbook is clear. Republicans need unity to pass the bill, but the Musk fight is fracturing that unity. Conservatives like Dan Newhouse, RWA, and Ted Cruz, RTX, publicly urged both men to reconcile, hoping the row doesn't distract from governing. In contrast, Democrats are having a field day. They seized on Musk's critique to attack the bill. Maryland Senator Van Hollen said Trump and Musk have a great betrayal on their hands because the bill would add trillions to the deficit while slashing programs for working families. In summary, this spat has become high stakes on multiple fronts. It's not just a social media dust-up. It's about trillion-dollar budget figures, the future of energy and healthcare programs, the strength of national defense systems, and even the 2026 elections. Both men have drawn lines in the sand. Trump is standing by his beautiful vision of the bill, and Musk is challenging him on every aspect, from fiscal math to how government projects should be run. As June 2025 unfolds, everyone is watching. Will this feud force changes in the bill? Will Musk soften his stance? Or will Trump follow through on punishing his former ally? Either way, this fight is reshaping the politics of the Republican Party and sending shockwaves through markets and national security circles alike. We invest our enough time to create these kinds of videos. Kindly subscribe, like and share the video, and if you have any questions, comment below. Thanks for watching, mate. Bye.